years ago, I was in an all-girl rock band called Aurora. We were fresh on the scene. Well, not so fresh. I mean, maybe like 4 years or something like that. But we weren't liked very much at first. And I remember Mark Gilmore ran a local all-rock radio station that supported, you know, what we were doing in the scene and everything. And he was one of the first people to actually take some faith in the band that I was currently in at the time. And he played us on the radio, and we were like, man, did Mark Gilmore just put us on local licks? Holy crap, we made it. This is awesome. We must be cool now. So, Mark Gilmore, you made us cool. Thank you. You're awesome. And I didn't want to tell anybody this, but he is Batman. And you know, he's been a really cool guy. He's put out a lot of his own time. He's been a good friend. He's hosted events with Aurora for years, Halloween shows, other events. He's been a big support system, and we will always be there to support you, no matter what you do, because you're awesome and Batman.
Hey Mark, we just wanted to say thank you for everything you've done in the local music scene, all your hard work and dedication.
Muchas gracias por todo tu trabajo y música.
And because of your hard work and your dedication to the local music scene, you've inspired us here at V103 to try to push the local music scene to everybody and continue on what you've started. And we hope we look up to that.
We can only try our best.
We can only try. Go ahead, Pappy.
What he said.
That's it. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Muchos buenos.
I think at the beginning of Local Licks, way back in the day, it was a good idea, and there was a lot of other radio stations that were doing that same kind of thing, both regionally and nationally. By the time that Mr. Gilmore came on and started to do his program, that number had dwindled down to less than a handful in the entire nation. So to have people, unfortunately, complain about the situation that maybe the station didn't focus enough on local music, and then to actually have an awareness of what's going on nationwide or worldwide, puts it even more perspective when you're one of the only places that even has such a program that exists. Out of all the people that have hosted the program, Mark was definitively the most passionate one about the project. And you know, being a friend and a fan of the music that I happen to make, you know, Mark made sure that, you know, amongst others, that I was also included in, you know, some of the CDs that came out from the station and station events that would happen. And I think I wasn't given any preferential treatment by Mark, being a friend of his, but it always seemed nice. And anyway, I'm sure he probably felt that maybe everybody else feels the same way, from what I understand.
Mark Gilmore has done so much for my career personally, with everything that he's given to the bands in the local scene. Thank you. We couldn't have done it at all without you. The connections that we made and the places that we have gone is unbelievable. We couldn't have done it without you. And thank you for everything that you've done. Everything that I'm sure is going to happen in the future. And thank you for always being there for me personally as well. You're awesome. Thanks.
Hey Mark, Backstage is here. We're going to thank you for all the great promotion that you've given us and laughing at a really stupid humor. We've had many times where you've given us shout-outs on the air, even though we're not musically inclined. What? Music? Oh! In all seriousness, Mark, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done. For the music team. Woo! We love you. Thank you this much. Everything outside of that. Yeah. Woo! Woo!
Mark Gilmore, what's going on, man? It's Dave Rappa from Victory Gin, American Karma, Bone Bag, and Honey Spot. I just wanted to take a few moments and say thank you so much for all the years of friendship and support that you've shown to me, my family, my bands, and all of the musicians and fans of the Sacramento scene. Local Licks was an incredible forum that gave so many of us an opportunity to share our music with a huge audience, all the while telling stories, cracking jokes, talking smack, and generally having a great time. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that great opportunity. Additionally, thank you so much for being a true fan, coming out to the shows and showing your support. It's so important that we get people out to support local music, and you definitely led from the front on that one, brother. I don't know what you've got planned for the future, but if I know you, it's going to be earth-shattering, mind-boggling, and otherwise incredible. Thank you so much. All the best for the future, and take care, brother. Lots of love.
My first impression of meeting him, man, I've always heard his voice on the radio, and I was like, I wonder what this guy looks like. And I first met him, he just greeted me with a big old handshake, and you know, I thought of him like he's this big old bear, you know, big old friendly bear. Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
The first time I met him was back, 2002, Tower Records off Sunrise. They were doing this show on the side of the building in that alley, that big alley area, and I forget who was playing. It was some big band at the time, but there were a lot of people there, and same thing. Met him, he was just this big, warm, really friendly, just talk to you just because you're cool and you like music, you know. Super cool. The thing about Mark is that there's nothing stronger than the heart of a volunteer, you know, and I'm not sure if he gets paid anything to do, you know, booking shows or doing any of that stuff. He does it for the same reason the musicians do it, you know, it's just because they love it. And having someone like that kind of at the level that he's at, and not expect anything out, you know, above that, and you know, be a dick to you because you're not, I don't know, you don't have like the hair or the clothes or whatever. He just loves music, you know, and it comes through his personality.
Hi, Mark. I'm here with Josephine. We're taking a break from our voice lesson, and we just wanted to stop and say thank you for everything that you've done for the local music scene, from supporting me and my music and being such a great friend, to being a coach in the Stairway to Stardom program and being a good mentor to Josephine. Josephine, would you like to say anything?
Hi, Mark. Thanks for being a great coach for Stairway to Stardom.
So we, lots of generations of musicians love you. Keep up the good work. It's not over. We still have lots of amazing things to look forward to in the future of the music scene. And Sean, Mark, you're wonderful people. We love you so much, and see you soon.
The first time I was on Local Licks, I was actually still living in Reading, and like I said, Dean actually got us set up with Mark, and we didn't get 98 Rock in Reading, so I was listening on the internet, which was pretty crazy. And I believe at that time it was 10 o'clock at night. I've heard rumors that it used to be at 7, or, you know, a reasonable hour. Oh, 9, I'm being told 9. The crowd's telling me 9. A more reasonable hour, but it was at 10, and it was an hour-long show, and I had no idea at which part during the show I was going to get to hear it, and I had to work at 5 a.m. So, you know, I stayed up because I just love hearing my voice. So, you know, it was interesting that, you know, a local program from 2.5 hours away, you know, we were able to get a pretty good majority of Reading to actually tune in and care about you know, the local scene, even down in Sacramento. And, you know, just hearing that was a big deal. And since then, I've been on the Local Licks quite a few times, just for the different reasons, such as the UC Davis thing, and just different reasons. But it's always been a hugely satisfactory event. It was always fun and meaningful.
I just thought it was so great that there was, you know, a program out there for people who, you know, are listening, and, you know, maybe they're listening for their friend's band and are able to hear other local bands, and, you know, those bands are able to gain fans that, you know, normally may not go to a local rock show, and just being able to hear the different, you know, music, different bands that are actually in our area, it was, to me, it was great to hear it, because then it kind of gave me an opportunity to look more into those bands and then maybe go to the next show. So I just thought it was a great way for people here in Sacramento to be able to see what.
I met Mark almost 10 years ago, most likely at a Brand X Saber show. And we became friends, and one thing I know about Mark is that there's no one in the local music scene that supports it to the level he does, between all the bands, the local licks, rest in peace, Stairway to Stardom, just everything he's been involved in. One good story, I don't have time to talk much about it, but one of my guitar heroes is Zach Wild. And because of Mark, I actually got to meet Zach. So it's a cool story. If you're interested, ask me about it sometime. But anyway, love you, Mark. You're the man.
Hey, Mark. I still don't know what to say. I've been trying to figure out what to say for like 2 weeks now. That's why I'm probably the last person on this video. I was told I could talk about like a memory of you, or possibly something I really appreciated. For the memories, I don't really have many. I was like pretty much stoned every time I was in that office. As for what I appreciate about you, Mark, it's pretty much everything. Everything you did for Aurora. The way you'd coach us through our little interviews at Intercom, all the times you'd promote our shows and play our music for local licks and come to our shows. It's great. Makes me really happy, warm and fuzzy inside. Pretend this is you, Mark.
If it was not for Local Licks, I would never have gotten actively involved in the Sacramento music culture. Local Licks was and is still an important inspiration for the artists of the Sacramento music scene. And though Local Licks is no more, I want to thank you, Mark, for your past service on putting these bands on a platform to where everybody can see them, a medium where they can express themselves as true artists can. So we want to pay tribute to you, Mark. Thank you so much.